Welcome on back to Winter Pride 2023 here. My name is Joker, and we've got ourselves a fantastic run coming up here from Spud, who's going to be playing Luigi's Mansion. And it does look like, unfortunately, Spud, we did not meet the incentive to extend the category, so it will be the any percent no out of bounds category here for Luigi's Mansion. It's time for us to try to find Mario! Mario! All yours, Spud.
Mario is in this game, but we are going to be seeing a lot of Luigi, actually. We'll call for Mario. But yeah, more than fine that we didn't meet the incentive, and any percent not out of bounds is a wonderful category. It's kind of the most honest category that we have for this game. Out of bounds glitches completely break this game. We had a recent find just a couple months ago that reduced this down to a potential sub 5-minute speed run with out of bounds glitches, but we're going to be trying to get out of here in about an hour, hopefully less. I'm joined by Polar as on commentary.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
And yeah, we're gonna go fast. So I think we can explain everything as we go. I'll just count it down. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, have fun.
So blink and you miss it. We did something very important right there. When we talked to EGAD, we switched down to the second dialogue option that he gave us, which is the Hidden Mansion. If you read Japanese, maybe you could figure that out, but I don't. Japanese is chosen specifically because it's faster for text, but also because we have a couple of Japanese exclusive glitches only available to this version. The Hidden Mansion also works differently between versions. On Japanese, it makes Luigi's vacuum twice as strong. On English, it does that and also makes him take double damage, so it's kind of like a hard mode. And on PAL, which is every other version of the game, it completely changes everything. It's its own thing. But we play on Japanese, and it's honestly pretty chill. You don't have a really threat of dying at any point. So the basics of this game, there's ghosts. They spawn behind Luigi, so we're going to be turning our back to where they're going to spawn. They spawn in the same place every time. We memorize where that is. We hold the Game Boy Horror open to look down at the ground to avoid Luigi getting scared. Can't do that everywhere. We do it here. When Luigi gets scared, he stands still and can't do anything for a second. So any way we can mitigate him getting scared throughout the run is going to save us about a second every time. We've also done a little glitch before the run that allows us to skip the key, like telling us where the key goes animation. Fun little glitch that you'll never actually see anybody do, probably. To actually catch the ghosts, we want to hit them with the flashlight first. That reveals their heart. Once their heart is revealed, we pull away on the analog... we activate the vacuum to start sucking them up, and then we pull away on the analog stick. And that, on Hidden Mansion, does 10 HP pretty much immediately. Catching 2 at once here. Same mechanics, just gotta hit them with both at the flashlight. When you have ghosts with more than 10 HP, you have to kind of tap the stick away multiple times, so for that 20 HP guy, you have to tap it away twice. Ghosts spawn in cycles in this game, so you want to catch as many simultaneously as possible. One of the only exceptions to that rule is that guy in the wardrobe right there. So we catch his friend first, and then this guy. Stand here, spawn the next 2. These are garbage can ghosts. They're fun because they don't have a hitbox, so you can just push them around, make your own doubles, and get out of that wave faster. Gonna see another one here, hopefully. Whoop. They have 40 HP, so we're doing a lot of tapping away. Kind of see the HP go down in 10 HP increments when I tap. Now we have our third key. This game's pretty linear, so we're going to head like kind of one room to the next room to the next room. And headed up, we have another type of ghost. Because we see a lot of them.
Yeah, so now that we've cleared these first 3 rooms, we're going to be seeing our first portrait ghost of the game. Now, portrait ghosts are unique ghosts. They usually have a name. This first one coming up, his name is Neville. And they also have 100 HP each. So they have the most HP of any ghost of the game, other than the final boss, King Boo. And normally, if you were playing 100%, you would need to make sure that you do all 100 HP in one cycle. Since you get the pearls, and pearls have money, but for this category, we don't need to collect the pearls, we're just going to walk right past them. And we're actually going to try to get as little money as possible during this run, because in between the areas, there's a cutscene, and it counts your money to show you how much you have. But since we don't need to worry about that, it takes time to count that money at the end of each area, so we want to have as little as possible. So sometimes you'll see Spud get hit intentionally to lose money. and that's just why that'll be happening. So each portrait ghost has their own little puzzle that you need to discover. Normally in your casual playthrough, you could take out the Game Boy Horror, take a picture of the ghost's heart, and it'll give you some kind of hint. So for the first ghost, Neville, you just kind of had to wait around long enough, and he yawns and he shows his heart. And the second ghost here, Lydia, she doesn't want to get her hair messed up like any natural person wouldn't. So you gotta pull the curtain back, the wind comes in, then you can capture her. And we're actually already coming up to the end of the first of 4 areas of this game. The baby here, Chauncey, is the area boss. And for the area bosses, they actually teleport you to a completely different arena that you fight them in. So we're gonna be very mean and shoot Chauncey with the ball, and he's gonna go, hey, what are you doing? And now we're gonna go to the battle, and we're gonna see Spud do a pretty fancy and difficult trick called Chauncey One Cycle. It's a very new trick. It was discovered earlier this year, and it's difficult because it's double frame perfect. So that means you need to let go of the R button and re-grab Chauncey again by pressing the R button within a 2-frame window with each other. Very difficult to do, but there is an audio cue for it. So once Spud gets ready for it, they're going to listen for that audio cue and hopefully get it. It's normally the game won't let you capture Chauncey in one cycle. It'll just kick you off him before you can capture all 100 HP. So we're going to see Spud get in position here, do a ball catch, and shoot Chauncey, and listen for that audio cue to try to get the Chauncey One Cycle. Very nice. Let's go.
Haven't hit that in like 8 attempts, so yeah,
Well
I'm happy
done.
I got that finally.
Yeah, that's
I see that every day.
No, that is a fancy trick. It looks seamless, but it is very difficult to do. I'm not even consistent at it. And just like that, area 1 is done. So at the end of each area, Egad talks to us and he goes, Luigi, my boy, come back to my lab and let's get all of those beautiful ghosts that you've got and let's put them into a portrait. I want to look at them for the rest of our lives. And there's this whole process. Takes about a minute, so usually, generally speaking, this would be a good time to have any donations and save them if you have them, because there's about 4 of these on the run, so.
Well, I will say we do have one very quick donation here that I'll be happy to share. It's a $10 anonymous donation. Thank you so much, Anonymous, for that donation.
My favorite types of donations.
That's my favorite portrait right there. Let's see if I can find my emote before I gotta click again. I can't find it. That portrait of Neville. Oh, I'm not gonna find it in time. He's just like throwing his arms up in the air for some reason. It's so goofy.
Yeah, there's 3 different types of portraits for each of the portrait ghosts that you can get. There's the bronze, silver, and gold. Basically depends on how well you do when capturing it, how many pearls you get. It's linked to a couple of different things, but yeah.
We don't care at all about the color of the portrait or any money in this run, so completely meaningless to us, but cool to look at. Gonna see a couple new types of ghosts at the start of Area 2 here. These new types of ghosts are the grabber ghosts. They will, like, instead of immediately doing damage to Luigi, latch on and then do damage over time. But the appeal of that is that you can intentionally have them grab you and then throw them off in a specific direction, and similar to the garbage can ghosts, make your own doubles with them, so they're kind of fun.
And so now coming up, we're going to the ballroom, and after some quick Shy Guy doubles, we're going to have our first true instance of RNG in the game with the portrait ghosts, the Whirlindas. So basically they can either show their heart early or late, which we effectively call early release or late release. If you get early release, which we call ER, it saves about 10 seconds, and if you don't, you lose about 10 seconds. And you just have no control over it. It either happens or it doesn't, so you just kind of have to pray that the game's nice to you. But luckily, it's early enough in the run that it's not a complete deal breaker.
Oh!
Oh, getting roughed up by these Shy
Guys.
Guys.
Mean.
This yellow
He
Shy
bumped
Guy.
me and then he disappeared and then everything went wrong.
Yeah, those doubles are deceivingly hard, and it's really easy for it to stockpile. Let's see if we get
There
early
is a
release.
setup for a 6-piece that I have not learned. We did get lucky. That's our 10 seconds that we get to save.
Yeah, there is a 6-piece, and it looks very flashy, but it only saves about a second, believe it or not. So sometimes if the muscle memory is just there for the doubles, just go for those instead. So here in this storage room, what we're going to do once we clear the room is we're going to push that wall on the left back, but there's actually a poster we need to clear. So Spud's going to go in the corner, suck up the poster early by angling the vacuum in a very specific way, and now we've just saved about 5-6 seconds because the game thinks that you're close enough to that poster for some reason, so you can just suck it up very early if you position right.
Yeah, it's very far away. Seeing how far away you can grab posters in this game is pretty wild. Like, that button is usually obscured by the poster, and we're probably a good half a screen away from it when we latch on, and you can actually do that in other rooms to, like, your detriment when it happens. Get pulled all the way across the room doing it.
Oh no, Luigi, what have you done? You've released the booze back into the mansion. Oh no, you're gonna have a hard time wrangling up all of those guys, because we need 40 of them out of 50 in the game in order to get to the final boss, King Boo. So, for those of you that have played this game casually, I'm sure you remember having a really hard time capturing these boos because they're very slippery. They just like to leave rooms constantly, and we actually have a trick for that. It's called R pumping. Basically what you do is you just kind of pump, like let go of the R button and repress it very quickly, and you can actually keep boos in place. They have 15 cackles, so basically you can do it 15 times because with each R pump you're going to take about 10 HP off. And then after 15 cackles, or 150 HP maximum, they will not stay put anymore, and you have to let them leave the room. We're gonna see Spud go for a tech skip here.
This room.
Yeah, this tech skip, grabbing that tablecloth can be pretty annoying sometimes.
Oh, we get to go for it.
Oh, nice. We get to go for it, yeah. So Spud's gonna do the R pump, grab this tablecloth. Ooh, very nice. Just got it. And that tech skip, it made it so that when we captured the boo, we didn't talk to EGAD, because every time you capture a boo, EGAD calls you and says, "Well done, Luigi. That's one more boo." But specifically for the first one, it takes about 6 to 7 seconds because he's explaining to you what boos are and what capturing them is. So that tech skip saves about 6 seconds, and it's a little RNG based.
Yeah, if the boo spawns, there's always a boo and there's always a fake, and if the fake spawns under the cloth, you'll have the lump there, but it's actually not impactful. But if the real boo spawns under the cloth, then you cannot go for that tech skip because you have to pull the cloth off to reveal the boo. You cannot just shake the table. We're gonna skip that Area 1 hallway that we went to with Neville and Chauncey and them because we have a reason to go back there later, and we only need 5 boos. And the door we're going to unlock after we get our 5 boos is nearby to these 2 rooms, so we're just going to go clear them up now. We never have a reason to go back here again. Oh my goodness.
Where is this boo?
It's actually in the far right corner somewhere. There it is.
Yeah, every single one of those crates is a spot that could have the boo in it, so it's really hard to read it. You just kind of have to position yourself right and hope that you're shaking all of them all at once. And so not every furniture in every room will have a boo location in it. For some rooms like this, it's like pretty much every piece of furniture can be a spot. But so memorizing the locations and being able to get the boo on the first try is really important. It is RNG based, but if you can get it on the first try, your cycles are faster, your run is faster, and boos can switch if you don't find them fast enough. So an item that you had checked previously, now that the boo is switched, it could be in that spot now. So you have to kind of start over in that room and make sure that you check everything again. So it's best to try to find it as fast as possible.
This is our second mirror warp. We did one upstairs in the wardrobe room. It's slightly faster to do this than the walk back down that hallway. Barely. Boos are also a source of randomness. There's kind of like pervasive small randomness throughout this run. It doesn't have like a tangible impact immediately, but the boo locations and how they move and everything can really, really change how you play each room out. Speaking of mirror warps, you can't do one in here.
Yes, this is the one room in the game where the mirrors don't work because Nintendo said, we want you to solve the puzzle, which we are totally going to bypass because we know some tricks up our sleeves. So what Spud's going to do here once the room is clear is they're going to capture the boo, and they're also going to land right on the fire medallion that we're going to get that allows us to use fire. And as we save and quit out of the game, we're going to fool the game into thinking that we've collected it. We don't need to see the text box for the fire medallion, and we can just kind of save and quit, come back in, and it's considered us to collect that medallion, and now we can use fire.
Yeah, so EGAD calls us, asks us to save, and we're technically holding that battalion. So we save, we quit, and we never have to see that room again. We do have to go back over there to do a puzzle in the other room because we get a key from it. And now it's important because we're on a timer. When we save and quit, it resets all like the global timers in the mansion. I don't need that. Not looking for money. And you saw a floating candlestick down the hall earlier when we went to the bathroom. Washroom, I think it's called, not the bathroom. And that floating candlestick is held by the butler. No golden mouse today, unfortunately. I might see them later. And we're going to light these candles. Resetting the game makes him typically be right next to this corner when you walk down the hallway, which is good because it's fast. You don't have to walk all down the hallway to catch him and light the candles. And he's going to come down the way we're going, following kind of the path we're taking into the room just south of the laundry room here. So while he's on his way, we can't really do anything important. So we're going to clear this room out because it'll help us later because there's a boo in here, and we do need 40 boos.
So you're gonna see Spud here very carefully dodge Mario's hat, which is the first of 5 Mario items that we'll need in order to get through Area 3. And we're getting it now because we're over here, we know where the location is, and we don't want to have to come back here later. So might as well grab it now while we can to save some time. And now what you're gonna see Spud do is activate this mouse hole because there's a Japanese exclusive. Oh
fine.
no!
This
Yeah,
isn't as bad as it could be.
He just walks back in, right? Yeah. So we're good, yeah. Lose a little bit of time, but way better than missing the cycle.
If you don't touch him at all, he goes back into the hallway and you have to light the candles from scratch again, and it wastes a full minute.
Yeah, it is. That is not a good thing. That's why you saw Spud kind of shine the butler with the light there, because if you keep him stunned, then he won't despawn and he won't go back to the hallway.
Fun fact, if you hit him with the light, I checked it, if you hit him with the flashlight and he goes away without you, like, hitting with the vacuum at all. Japanese exclusive glitch, by the way. We're going to skip some more EGAD text. Going in that mouse hole while we're catching a boo. But if you just hit the butler with the flashlight, he can disappear and still appears by the door. You never actually
very
have to touch
nice.
him.
Oh, I actually didn't. I just thought, yeah, he would if you don't try to capture him at all. Very nice.
So that's actually safer than it looks. Got some elemental ghosts in here. They're weak to fire and fire only, so if we did not have fire, we would have a real big problem getting out of this room. We set up another mouse hole skip here when we came in, so catch this boo, really fast find, and we're out of here. And those rooms are optional, that one and the laundry room here. Both of those rooms we do not have to clear. There's green chests in both of them, which means they just have money in them. Oh, it's over here again. Oh, it moved. It's
Oh,
over
he
here
switched.
now. You can hear the boos move. But we clear these 2 optional quote-unquote rooms because there's boos in them, and the boos have really low HP. Later in the game, the boos have over 150 HP or right at 150 HP, which means it not only takes a lot of time, usually you cannot catch those boos in one cycle. You have to chase them into another room, which is bad. It takes forever. And also there's rooms that just take forever to clear, and they're not worth it. We're going to see one of those at the end of this area as well.
Yeah, so now coming up we've got one of my favorite portrait ghosts, Melody. She's the musician portrait ghost, so after we activate all these instruments, she's gonna play one of 2 songs, and we have to pick the right option. She's gonna either play Water or Mario 3, and Water is the faster of the 2 choices, but only by a second. It's not a big deal if you get Mario 3. Hey, and that's Water. That's what we like to hear. So now Spud's just going to be able to click A, because the water choice is going to be right at the top, and we will have picked the right answer. So now
It's
you're going to
also
see...
just the better song.
It is the
in
better
my opinion.
song. Yeah, I like the slowness of it.
6/8 is a good time signature.
So we're going to see Spud specifically go into this right corner because some furniture pieces, like we just saw here, have a higher probability of the boos being in there, and that cabinet in the top right corner is one of them. Because the boo can be in any one of these pieces of furniture in this room. It's a really hard room to read. So if you can get the higher probability, then you might as well take it and save some time.
Often you'll see me like cheat over to a side of the room that has a lot of furniture in it, because usually a high density of furniture means we'll find the boo more likely there. But in the music room, it's tremendously more likely. Hello, Mr. Lugs, optional portrait ghost. We're not going to clear this room. It's tremendously more likely that the boo is in the right side of that room, either the piano or that cabinet. So we stay on that side of the room for that reason.
So you
Hit
saw
that guy with the
Spud.
fire
Yeah.
before he fully appears, so we don't actually damage him and catch him faster that way.
And now we've got 2 out of 3 elements that we can use in the game. We just got water now, which you can see that burning door in the top left corner. We're going to use that water immediately to put that fire out because we need to go out that door in order to get to the end of Area 2. Let's see if the boo is in there. Ah,
Don't
unlucky.
move, don't move, please. Okay, we're safe. This one's a brutal room for the boo to move in because it's so long. Usually the bigger rooms, you want to find the boo quickly because if you have to walk all the way back and forth looking for it, it's really bad.
Mm-hmm. So now this is Spooky. He is a dog, and he is also a ghost. So basically what we need to just do here is wait for him to attack us 3 times, and then a skeleton ghost is going to spawn. And
Mr. Bones.
ghost
The
dogs...
only named ghost in the game.
Ghost dogs still like bones, so we spawn a little bone for him, and he goes to eat it, and then we can capture Spooky. And then it looks like we're a little trapped, but his doghouse is actually a mouse hole, believe it or not. And now we are in the graveyard.
Treat me right, skeletons. Nice.
Nice. Yeah, those skeletons can, it's a little RNG if they come over. They almost always come over and line up for that double, but sometimes they don't behave and you kind of have to settle for the singles.
Yeah, the one on the right sometimes goes like to the right before swinging back to the left so you can get the double, so you have to wait a little bit, but we can keep that left one in place if we're quick for long enough. You'll probably see me pump the flashlight a couple times, like strobe it a little bit to lock a ghost in place before they disappear. This is Bogmire. This is the area boss of Area 2, and probably the easiest boss ghost to one cycle. The Area 3 boss ghost is also fairly easy to one cycle. You just have to be good at the game. There's no real gimmicks here. Also, fun fact, Bogmire is the only portrait ghost besides the boo-flavored ones that doesn't have a heart visible. Just curious.
Yeah, it's like the manifestation of all of the bad things of the mansion or something.
Oh! That was a really
Almost.
bad move. Like, I could not just go for damage there. I was trying to be so safe.
Yeah, Bogmire, even though there's no fancy tricks to him to one-cycle him, his pull, which is like how hard he drags Luigi and like how tight your angles need to be when sucking him up, is very tight. So your angles need to be precise, and if you lose control, you need to recognize that and kind of respect Bogmire a little bit, otherwise you'll just break off. Just like that, Area 2 is done. Back into the lab.
Do we have time for a very quick donation?
Absolutely.
Alrighty. We've got David MC, who donated $10 here, and with a message that says, good look on Luigi's Mansion, Spud. I believe David might have meant to say good luck on Luigi's Mansion, but thank you, David, for that donation nevertheless. And again, there are some incentives that are still open here, like the Made of Skur Pet the Dog incentive and the bid war between the good and bad ending in Made of Skur. So make sure to select one of those. Make sure to select a target and poll when you do make your donations.
Thank you very much for that donation, David.
So
I looked at the money and I thought I was playing the other category and I saw 4.1 million and I was like, oh no. But we don't care about money.
We've got a lot of catching up to do and some time traveling to water that plant.
Yeah, 4.1 similar to what we're looking for at the end of Area 1 and 100%.
So now we're going into the courtyard to start Area 3, and we're going to be taking a visit to the bottom of the well, and we're going to see our first glimpse at our trapped brother, Mario. Like we said, he is in this game, and we're going to see him today.
This cutscene is great because it lags. This is a release title, so the Japanese version was the first version that came out, but it lags in every version. And because the cutscene lags, they slowed the music down so that it doesn't end before the cutscene does. So if you somehow remove the lag, like via an emulator or something, it sounds really weird.
I spent an embarrassing amount of time doing IL levels of bottom of the well, the most important room of the game, clearly. And now, out of the well, we're gonna knock this birdhouse, pick up Mario's letter, the second of 5 items. The gimmick of this area is we pretty much spend most of it picking up the 5 items because we need to talk to Clairvoya in order to get through to the Boo Losses boss.
Optional portrait goes to Biff. We don't care about him. We are going to pick up a whole pause for the water shot through the floor. Just extinguish a door through the floor. But we just want that key out of the treadmill in the rec room because it opens a shortcut. If you hated Area 3 and 4 of this room, or of this game, then that's probably why you never found that key. Catch this guy off the ceiling because we can. Got to see a little glimpse of Angie, the RNG golden mouse there. Not going to catch Angie. We let her roam free.
She did bless us at least, and I love this. That's one of my favorite gold mice in the game, so happy. So now with this room, there are a lot of spots to check for the Boo, and almost always in this category the Boo switches. Oh, and it looks like it went left, so let's hope it's there.
It was in the left to start. I didn't. I forgot to actually check if it was over there, or I would have known.
And so we're gonna specifically get ice on our way out of this room because we need it in order to capture the portrait ghost Petunia. And we're gonna see her next, and she's one of the ghosts that's taking a nice hot shower. And what does every person who's taking a hot shower hate the most? The cold. And so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna blast her with some ice, and then she's gonna be cold, and we're gonna be able to capture her.
You mentioned ghost pulling, like strength, earlier with Bogmire. Petunia actually has the strongest pull of any portrait ghost. Same as a blue twirler. We haven't seen any of those yet, but they are very, very strong, and the room is just so small you never really notice it. But she will break off sometimes, unexpectedly. So there's an interesting interaction between these two rooms. Portrait Ghost pearls persist. If I go back in that room, you'd actually still see them, the ones that Petunia dropped. And there can only be so many pearls at once, so you see that Nana's not dropping any, because the other ones still exist. So we intentionally do Petunia first. Oh, please.
Oh, at least it's double right side.
So that we get less pearls, because when you're catching Boos, Luigi likes to look at literally everything but the Boo. Everything that you don't want him to look at. So less pearls on the ground, the better, because those are one of the things he locks onto. Hearts, gold bars. Luigi loves those. Uh-oh.
A little call for Mario. Where are you, man?
This is a little bit of a non-linear area compared to the rest of the game. We're getting keys that we have not gone, like, we're not chasing those doors immediately where the keys go. So we're going to go up here, clear these 3 little rooms out, and then we're going to start doing our backtracking. Because those keys unlock areas we've kind of been to already. I think I got a good angle in here.
Just barely not, I guess.
It's This room is a little tricky because you have to stand in the middle to reasonably get all the doubles here. So we're going to do some spinning. Spinning turns your back to all parts of the room at once. And we use that to make sure that the ghosts spawn on both sides of Luigi, like, consistently at the same time.
And so for this room, actually, everything other than the chandelier can... Oh, that's surprising.
I disagree.
I don't know how that flashlight didn't grab it. But so, all the candlesticks in the center of the room and the 2 cabinets can have the boo in it, but the cabinets have the higher spawn rate, so we usually check them first, unless nothing's flashing up there.
I don't
Ooh,
like
those
this
double
noise.
clock. No, I don't like them. Ooh!
I had an extra one to spare, but I wasn't gonna trust it.
Yeah, so if a
That's
boo
one of the
gets...
worst boos you can get to leave.
Yeah, it can go... If that boo leaves, it has to go out left into the hallway, and then once it's in the hallway, it can either go back into Astral Hall, the room we were just in, or it can go to the left. And the room to the left is the second room of the game that we saw. So you really don't want it to go there because that is a major time save, and you'll either have to just accept the loss, or you'll have to get a different boost somewhere else. Now we shoot the moon with a star in order to get the 3rd Mario item, which is Mario's star.
Fake moon, thankfully. If you look at the map, this room is kind of way off to the side, outside of the mansion even. Some illusion trickery, probably.
This mansion's got so many tricks. How does Luigi not go insane? We don't know. Yeah, so
Luigi's doing good. He's brave. He's here to rescue his brother. He can't leave until he gets Mario.
You know what? It's about time Luigi took a stand for something, you know? And if it's for his brother, it's a noble cause.
Alright, so we have 2 keys and a Mario item. So we're going to go back down and straight into one of those doors that the key unlocks. We've walked past this door a couple times. There's another optional portrait ghost in there, but there's also attached to it a room that we do need to clear for another Mario item. There's 5 in total. So say hello and goodbye to the billiards room.
And so
Hello
yeah,
to
this
the
is
projector room.
another one of those gimmick rooms similar to that mirror one where you can't see the grabber ghosts. You have to rely on the projector screen to see their shadow, but luckily we've memorized the spawns. We don't need to look at the projector. We can just put Luigi in a certain spot, spin around, get some cool doubles, and even a triple. After this double, we'll get a triple.
Yeah, the first triple I go for, I do something weird in the Astral Hall that a lot of people don't do, so I don't get a triple there. This one will be a triple.
And then we're going to hopefully see a really neat hex skip here, another save and quit, where we're going to capture the boo as we pick up Mario's glove. And if we do it just right, we're going to be able to get this unique skip where, let's see if we get it.
Nah.
Still get the
We
save
get
and
the
quit.
skip.
But yeah. So
We pick up the glove in between Luigi, like, collecting the boo and Egad calling. We get a funny text where it pops up, like, here. But we're not going to get to see that this time. We lost our element on our save quit, too, so if I am good, I can get it back in Noel's room, because element does save us a little bit of time everywhere. Been doing something called a flashlight cancel, or an element cancel, in pretty much every room, whenever we transition from a lit room to a dark room. Is it in? Oh my goodness, it's in the lamp. I hate the lamp.
Unlucky. Yeah, it's very uncommon for it to be in that lamp.
So
At least you
when I
got
go into-
At least you got element out of it, though.
Yeah, so when I go into this next room, you'll see me pop a little bit of fire out, and that skips Luigi's animation for, like, pulling out his vacuum, which is about a second in all cases.
Yeah, so as Spud had mentioned earlier, we specifically skipped the boos in this area when we only needed to capture 5 because we needed to come to this room in Area 3 to capture the twins. So now it's convenient for us. It's like, well, we're already here. Let's get the boos now. So the twins are little tricksters. You've got to play their game and find them in these boxes. And luckily, if you shake them with either your vacuum or the fire, you can see the boxes will shake, and that's how you know the twins are in there. So we find them pretty quickly, and there is a way to set up a double for these two, but it's position based on where you find them, and it is pretty difficult. So
Yeah, you have to memorize locations because they can be in any of the boxes, in any pair of the boxes. So like knowing how to set each one of them up is a big like, mental check, knowledge check. Something's over there. It just moved, so it's probably both in here now. I can't tell.
yeah,
I think it's still up there. No, it's over here.
wow, over here. And now we
Oh, the
have
pearl.
all five of Mario's items. Oh, the pearl lock on.
Yeah, you really can't fight it, so it's best to position Luigi in a place where either... Oh, it's close up? No, no close up. Sometimes the boo ball likes to steal the show there. But usually we want to position Luigi in a place where he can like get the pearls without messing up too much. Gonna try another cloth cancel for Egad's text box coming up in this next room. One of the laggiest rooms in the game because it's trying to load like 3 different things at once because you can see the graveyard from this window.
Yeah,
I
and
get
we
the
wanna
great check here.
we wanna get this text skip here because now that we've captured over 15 boos, EGAD actually has a random chance to give you a couple of different lines of dialogue, and all of them. Oh,
Not
I
the
guess
bad
that.
one, please.
Please no Vangor text.
Oh no!
Okay.
It's not the worst one, but it was bad. He likes to talk about watering the plants and talking about the elemental ghosts and all kinds of other stuff. It's quite rude. He loves to talk.
I guess
I'm
that.
ready to go to Clairvoyant now, finally.
I guess that bedcloth was enough, just barely not off enough. And so now with Clairvoya, normally what the game wants you to do is come back one item at a time and bring it to her, and she'll give you hints on how to find Mario. But since we've conveniently routed very well, we know we have all 5 items, so we just show her them all at once. And we basically just have to mash through text box for about a minute. So if there are any new donations, this would be a good time to say them.
Well, absolutely. I do want to remind everybody that this is Winter Pride 2023, benefiting Point of Pride. As they said, you can donate by using the exclamation mark donate in chat, or check out the upcoming schedule using exclamation mark schedule. We do have a few donations that came in here. We had a $50 donation from Storm Vision, who simply says, "I'm helping." You absolutely are, Storm. We also have a $13 donation from Non-Binary Code, who said, "You can't very well truly call it a good ending if you don't also pet a dog, now can you?" No, you can't, Non-Binary Code. That is in reference to the Maid of Skur incentives that are still open. You can put your donations towards the Pet the Dog incentive, as well as the good or bad ending bid war for Maid of Skur.
Thank you for those donations, everyone.
If you can read Japanese, you would know that Clairvoyant mentioned Bowser there. We'll probably figure out what she meant by that later in the game. Probably not important. And I'll have a webcam this time, so I don't really get to show off the spin to win strat on Clairvoyant, but you catch Clairvoyant interestingly because you just hold into the corner with your analog stick and then just twirl the crap out of the C-stick. It's really unique because she has actually 0 pull strength. She moves towards Luigi instead of away.
Yeah, I think the lore for her is like she actually wants to be captured, so she doesn't put up a fight, whereas the other ghosts don't want to be captured, so you have to like figure out and fight back against them. But for her, she's just like, "Please, I'm done being a fortune teller. You can capture me. You've given me
she's at
Mario's
peace.
items. My life was about Mario's items, and now that you've given me them, I'm ready."
Very important detour in here. Do not forget the ice. You need ice for the room we're headed to. The key we got from Clairvoyant's room unlocks the safari room upstairs. And there are ghosts that are only weak to ice up there. So if we do not get the ice, we have to walk all the way back downstairs to get it, because there's no other place to. First trip to the 3rd floor. Gonna be doing this a lot more in Area 4. Great time for donations when that happens.
Yeah, so in the safari room, we're gonna specifically... Oh boy, that poison mushroom.
Dodge that shroom is what we're gonna do.
We do not want to touch those. But we're gonna specifically put our element right where we know the spawn is because these are water ghosts and we need to freeze them. So we do that perfectly, and then we get a nice double here. And we go across the room, get the other garbage ghost. And then we're gonna hopefully push ourselves just enough so that we can knock this chair, because the Boo likes to be in his little chair.
Only 3 spots in this room, despite all the boxes being in the corner. Only 3 spots to check. Gonna freeze that Boo so we can hopefully pull that key closer to the door. Close.
Ooh.
No cigar. Eh.
Yeah,
Close
so
enough, though.
normally, you need a minimum of 20 Boos in order to pass the barrier to fight Boolossus, which is the Area 3 boss that we're coming up on. And we've got 21, so no problems at all getting in. And now we get to fight the Area 3 boss. So
Definitely not 15 Boos in a trench coat. Mm-mm.
just one big scary Boo, not 15 at all. So for the casual players of this game, this could have been your least favorite area boss because when you get them, there's only a couple of them left. You have to really hunt them down, and they can be very frustrating to get. So this fight is a little RNG based, but we do have a consistent strat for it. It's RNG in the sense that the ice spawn can go out of bounds, or one of the Boos can get caught on the right side of the arena. But what you're going to see Spud do here is they're going to pick up the ice spirit, and they're going to go in a very specific line all the way to the left side of the arena. Going to line up with their vacuum, and then right as they get to the statue, they're going to hopefully do an ice ball shot and get all the Boos all at once. Ooh, that was pretty good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Love that sound. You get to hear all 15 at once.
Very nice. Yeah, that fight can get pretty slow if you don't get them all in that one cycle, because if you have 2 or 3 left, then they start to run around and you can't just hit them with the ice and capture them. You have to wait for them to charge you, and they do not like to cooperate.
Yeah, that's a very RNG heavy boss, minimizing it as much as we can, but you'd still, I had to spray the ice, moving after the ice ball, to catch 5 or 6 extra ones, and that was just enough. More donations if you got them.
Absolutely. First, I do want to remind everybody that you are watching Winter Pride 2023, which is benefiting Point of Pride. Point of Pride is a trans-led 501c3 nonprofit organization providing life-changing access and life-saving affirmation to trans folks in need of health and wellness care via financial aid and direct support. If you'd like to apply for one of Point of Pride's grants or garment programs, get involved as a donor or volunteer, or just learn more about them, please visit pointofpride.org. And your donations, like this $30 anonymous donation, will go towards Point of Pride. And anonymous does say, pet the dog? Pet the dog. That again, it goes towards our Pet the Dog incentive here for Maid of Sker, which is coming up here. I believe, yes, Maid of Sker is coming up next, being run by my good friend Oscar424. And right now, we are at $104 out of the $250 target for that Pet the Dog incentive. So you'd only have a little bit of time to get that. I know we can get it. We want to pet the dog. We want to make sure that we can start the process to end the first day of the marathon on a great note by petting the dog. So please make sure you mark those incentives when you do put your donations in.
Maybe I should pick up Luigi's Mansion 3 so I could pet the dog.
Petting the dog is always a good thing.
And unfortunately, we have to fight the dog in this one.
But we do give a bone to the dog first, so that
True.
kind of balances out, right?
So they go into the vacuum happy. So we're about to enter the blackout. If you've played this game casually, especially as a kid, you probably resent this part of the game. This is where it gets really scary and really hard, because if you don't know where you're going, there are no save points. It's very difficult to heal unless you know where to look for health. And there's no light in the entire mansion except for Luigi's flashlight, so there's going to be ghosts spawning everywhere. We switched to sidestep so that we can keep our angle easier. I'm a baby. I like to do sidestep during this section. But we're going to be pointing it at the ghost spawn points, trying to keep our back to the wall in most cases so that we don't errantly spawn any ghosts. EGAD gives us a hint if we go further in, like, towards the telephone room area, which we'll go to later, telling us that the ghost who stole the key to the breaker room so that we can turn the power back on, Uncle Grimly, he stole the key and he likes rooms with mirrors in them, and there's lots of rooms with mirrors in them. And there's a room even called the mirror room, but he's not in there. He's in the wardrobe room. They clarify that hint a little better in the 3DS remake.
Ooh,
Instant.
Instagram.
He's RNG, and he just decided to show us his heart immediately. It took me like 15 seconds yesterday, so nice to see.
Yeah, you really do just have to wait there, and I've heard some can go upwards of like 50 seconds or so in the worst case, so the Instagram, we always love to see that. And so
So
now
we're not
that
doing anything else in the blackout. There's a lot of side content that you can do. Wrong way, aren't I?
And so now we're gonna see a pretty difficult and cool strat. I had mentioned earlier that normally you can only one cycle a boo if they have 150 HP because of the cackle limitation. And Breaker Boo, this boo here, has 200 HP. But you can actually one cycle this boo if you have it charge at you into the bottom right corner and then follow it all the way to the wall on the left where it'll leave, and then start pumping there.
Okay, it stayed on the right side. Can't get a charge. There's one. Got a double cackle. We can fix that though. Oh, 3 HP.
So close. Oh.
Yeah, that double cackle ruined it. I think I pumped slightly too fast, but I had to be careful. If we go fast, we have another chance to get him.
Yeah, he can go back into that room because when a boo leaves a room and goes out to the left, it has some areas, but in this one in particular, it can either go left into the pipe room or it can go right and come back into the breaker room. It's pretty uncommon that it'll come back into the breaker room, but you always got to check. You don't want it to be the run of your life, that the one time you don't check, that it comes back.
My PB actually has the blessing where it goes back into the room, so fingers crossed. Is it in there?
Let's see.
No.
No. Yeah, it's only like
I'm gonna be clearing the pipe room later to find that one. That's okay.
Yeah. Only 3 HP, yeah, you might as well. It's only like a 10% chance for it to come back into that breaker room, so pretty uncommon.
Yeah, I got to show off most of the strat. It's always unfortunate, like, when you bonk it immediately and you don't even get to show the shenanigans you do on the wall. We're pulling it, like, for an extra 2 or 3 HP, I think, every time when you do that little weird thing at the wall. But it adds up, plus the charge. You can throw another donation or two. We're just taking a long walk.
Alrighty. Well, again, I want to remind everybody you are watching Winter Pride 2023 here on Twitch, run by Power Up with Pride. We're running from December 14th through December 17th for about 18 hours each day, benefiting Point of Pride. To find out more about them, you can find the link to their site in the panels below the stream, or use !charity in the chat. If you're interested in donating, you can type !donate in chat. Find the schedule by using !schedule, or see the incentives with !incentives. We do have some incentives that are still available here, like Tomato Time for Inscription. That is a $250 goal. We also have the Pet the Dog incentive for Maid of Skur, which is our next game. We are currently at $104 out of the $250 needed for that incentive, and you don't have much time left. We want to pet the dog, so let's pet the dog. Make sure to mark that target when you do put your donations in, and you can also put them in towards one of our bid wars as well. You can do a bid war and a target, so please make sure you're selecting those options when you donate.
A little sketchy there with that blue soldier, but you saved it there, Spud.
Yeah, he wouldn't let me turn. It was weird because I was like too close to the wall or something. Yeah, we just eviscerated those guys. They are kind of the plague of casual playthroughs. Those guys are not easy. I got
And-
walled there as a kid.
And they're
Oh
not
man, he has
fun
19
on.
health.
They're not fun on normal mansion either.
See if we can ignite the guy on the right before he fully spawns in. Nice. No, we didn't get him. Oh, and I got bonked. We're fine now.
I think you.
Spend a little extra time.
I think you still somehow got your element out as you bonked him, so you burned him as you were getting damaged.
Yeah, trying to do what we did in the safari room of like pre-igniting those dudes with the fire, take off their elemental resistance before they are damageable. But the worst of both worlds, actually, I didn't do it. I did it too fast, so got bonked. But attic is never an easy part of the game. This boo in here has 300 HP. We're not going to catch it in this category because it takes way too long, and because we have to 2-cycle it, we'd have to light this room up too to reasonably do it fast. Do it in 100% though, and it is a pain. We're going to move on, spend as little time up here as possible. Get over there, Luigi.
Yeah, so
This
now
is
we're
Other
in the-
laggiest rooms in the game.
Yeah, this room is so laggy that when you actually go to capture the boo, which is 150 HP, you need to be mindful of that lag because a lot of people, myself included when I was starting out, you get used to a rhythm with your R pumps. But since this room is so laggy, if you're not careful, you'll actually R pump too early and the boo will leave at like 20 HP or so. So you need to pay attention to that lag in order to get the 1-cycle.
Didn't get the good spawn. It can still move. Well, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Nah, it is bad. I'm gonna gamble left. There's 2 spots on the right I can go, but there's way more on the left. Looks like it was a good gamble. Far left.
There it is, yeah.
We're gonna try to keep as little of the room on the screen as possible. Probably not gonna happen. Pray for no lightning. Spawning hearts also slows the game down, so I'm just really eyeballing that number and trying to R pump every time it gets to like the same digit every time. So I settled on a 2 because I pumped a little early there. 1-cycle that boo. We're out of here. I do have to pull this cloth because I don't want the breaker boo to reset its HP. When you quit the game and load back in, any active boos are sent back to their original room and given full HP. So the breaker boo would fully heal, and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, now we're on our way to the basement, getting to the later parts of Area 4 here. And so we're going to take a quick trip to the pipe room, which is very, very small room. It's pretty tight. There is a pretty cool triple you can get in there, but it's not really a strat you would go for unless you're doing 100% or something. So probably going to see Spud here use the ice to freeze the lake, this little lake here that's blocking our path, and get the ghosts to 0 HP as we freeze it at the same time.
Come on. There he goes.
There it is.
I'm actually going to pre-shake this. See if I can get the boo. No. I think I should have still looked. If I get the wrong boo, I want it to leave the room. I think I'm going to go ahead and shake that barrel. Because if I don't pull the breaker boo first try, I'm going to have to wait for that boo to leave the room anyway. And the one that normally lives in here is extremely slow. Breaker boo? No, get out of here, dude. I probably need to do like 1 damage to him before he wants to leave, so we're going to be sticking around here for a second, unfortunately. Get out of here.
Be gone, boo. Leave.
This one's so slow. Dude.
He's super slow.
Dude. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we do have to... Okay, we spawned it. There is a delay after a boo leaves the room that you cannot spawn another boo. Just barely meaningful, but it does sometimes happen. The boo will switch instead if it happens. Hopefully that dude is hidden. Nope, we get to see him one more time. But he's not going to cause too many problems while he's in here.
And so now we've got Sir Weston. He is the man frozen in the ice block. And this is also a pretty difficult ghost because his pull is hard and he's also on an ice floor, as you can see. So he really pulls you around.
Ow,
Ooh, the icicle
actually got me there. That never happens.
Yeah. Yeah, he can be a pretty hard ghost to capture. That he almost got sniped by a second icicle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I want
luckily
to
this
clear
is
up a lot of pearls here, actually, because Oh, do a little slide. Love that part. Because Luigi will lock on to lots of different things. Got the good spawn up
Good
there because he
spawn,
starts
yeah.
low to the ground.
And a very nice one cycle. And now we're going to save and quit out of here, and we're going to go on to our final portrait ghost, Van Gogh, which is one of my favorites.
Nice.
So as you can see, we already have 40 boos. Normally, if you didn't get Breaker Boo, you would have to get Van Gogh's Boo, which is a 300 HP Boo, but it can only go out to the left side and only come back into Van Gogh's room, so it's pretty easy to catch and pretty easy to 2-cycle. But since we already have the 40, we're going to just capture Van Gogh and walk on our way out of the room like there is no Boo in there to begin with.
The appeal of that artist room boo is that you can do a save warp out of it instead of like doing a mirror warp or anything else. So it does save a little bit more time over other 300 HP boos. Van Gogh is going to be a fun fight. Van Gogh sends waves of 3 normal ghosts at you, the ones you've been seeing in other random rooms that aren't portrait ghosts. Turns out he's been painting them. I don't think EGAD told him about us once this run. He still has one more chance. No, we're not going to catch another boo. He won't.
Very nice. Yeah, these triples are really satisfying when you land all of them. And one of my favorite portrait ghosts in the game.
Yeah. If you do get told about him early, honestly, the fight lives up to the hype. It's kind of like almost like a boss rush. I'm not going to get hit there. A little slow. Oh, please, Luigi. Okay, we're going to try to take all of these other triples from the left so that they're already kind of in a line. Another thing about this game is that as you get better and you get doubles and triples and stuff, you when you catch multiple ghosts at once in this game, they always drop a heart, which is your main way to heal, actually, unless you want to look for health. Yes. Grabber ghosts are one of the more difficult triples to get.
Nice. And then for these garbage ghosts, we're going to specifically try to push the far left one into the other two so we can get a triple. Very nice.
Ooh, they all went top right corner too.
Ooh.
We haven't had to fight these ceiling surprises yet, but they have 0 HP, so we just hit them with the fire. Faster than catching. Van Gogh's not going to put up too much of a fight himself.
And if you can see it there, he was actually painting the area 4 chest that's going to give us the key. We're going to capture him, and it's going to pop right out of the portrait there. And we can just walk right on out.
No boo required. King Boo will stop you at the door if you don't have 40, but we have exactly 40, so we're just going to walk straight down to the final boss fight. If you got any donations right before it, please let them rip.
Absolutely. We've got one here from Ancient LGT, who donated $25. And they say, sending some love for Elite, Spud, and Polar, 2 people who kindly allow me to call them my friends. And that did go towards the Maid of Sker Pet the Dog incentive. That incentive is rapidly approaching as we are getting ourselves ready in the next run for Maid of Sker. We are currently sitting at, let me pull that up here, we are currently sitting at $129 out of the $250 incentive. So chat, we are over halfway there. Let's pet the dog. We're so close, I can feel it. Let's pet the dog.
We're actually on pace to see a sub-hour run, it looks like. See if we can keep it together. King Boo is not an easy boss fight. Even if you get good at it, it's not an easy boss fight. There is a 1-cycle strategy that I will not be going for because it is something else. It's one of the hardest tricks in the game, if not the hardest trick. And it's right at the end of the run, so if you do go for it, it is heartbreaking. But we're going to go for a quick 2-cycle here. I do go for insta-shots. Insta-shots are a way to kind of bypass the normal waiting for the Bowser suit. By the way, Bowser's in this game. spoiler, we were told earlier, so I guess it's not a spoiler, but normally you get the spike balls that Bowser throws and you have to shoot them back at his head, but normally he has to bend over for you to aim at the head. We're going to like angle our vacuum at his head before he bends over and try to shoot a spike ball through a little bit of a cheaty, glitchy kind of thing, unintended for sure, earlier than we're supposed to, and that shaves about 4 to 6 seconds off probably of each cycle.
Yeah, something about that, yeah. And so King Boo does have 500 HP, but he reacts like a normal Boo does in the mansion, so you can still take as much HP off as you normally do. Nice insta shot. And you can still R pump him, so we're gonna see Spud try to bring him down here quickly.
Oh, this is really bad.
He kind of got over.
Yeah, we're gonna do a 3 cycle now for a backup. Hopefully nothing changes. So we're just gonna do 2 more insta shots instead of 1 more. I'm gonna keep him above 200 HP here intentionally, because if you don't, then head goes on backwards on the Bowser suit, and bad times are had. But over 200 HP, head stays on forwards. 1 more insta shot, and we're in there. Time on King Boo suck up. A little bit high, but we got it.
Yeah, my heart stopped for a second there. GG.
GG, well done.
And a sub 1 to boot.
Yes, it was. I think I split a little early, but that is a 59, 49, 48, somewhere in there by my numbers. Always proud to get sub 1. That is probably the big milestone for people who really want to learn this game. Like, if you want to say, I'm good, and feel like you made a mark, sub 1 was the thing that made me feel good about it. It took a lot of work to get to sub 1, and being able to do that live on a marathon is always satisfying.
Yeah, and that was Luigi's Mansion Any Percent No Out of Bounds. Pretty easy game to pick up for anyone who's looking for their first speed game.
Wonderful beginner speed game.
It's very linear, and the tricks aren't like something like R pumping that's not too hard to learn. It's very beginner friendly. The community is always welcoming, and it's just nice to see new runners pick it up and improve really quickly, because it is one of those games that if you do decide to put the time in, you can improve very quickly.
Yeah, the beginner's route is pretty much exactly what I did, except you don't go for Breaker Boo. Oh, gold portrait on King Boo, that was nice. Don't get that very often. But yeah, if you learn R pumping and how to fight Boolossus, you're golden. Like, that's exactly everything you need to learn to feel good at this game, and it's just very iterative learning beyond that. Shoutouts to the community. We have a Discord server if you do want to learn. They helped me a bunch. If you don't care about money, 11 million. Credits are amazing. We're probably not going to get to roll them, but if you do want to listen to some good music, Luigi's Mansion credits are awesome. Shoutouts to Polar for doing this commentary. And yeah, thanks for everybody for watching and donating.
Is there anything else that you or Polar would like to shout out or say before we let you go?
I stream a lot, I think. Pretty sure I do. 3 days a week usually, streaming a lot of Luigi's Mansion, but I've also picked up Hades for the first time, doing RPGs, like cozy playthroughs and other stuff, not just speedrunning content. So if you thought I was fun, if you thought Polar was fun, follow both of us, and maybe put out some good vibes.
Yeah, pretty much just what Spud said. I'm not really streaming too much these days, so maybe I'll catch you in their stream if you want to come hang out.
Well, fantastic. Thank you both so much for joining us and for displaying this wonderful run of Luigi's Mansion. Again, congratulations on the sub 1 hour. Well done, Spud. We're going to take ourselves a quick break as we get ready and load up our next run, which will be Oscar 424 to showcasing Made of Skur, the console glitchless run. We still have yet to determine exactly which ending we are going towards, and you still have a little bit of time to put your money in towards that with your donation, so make sure you please do so. We'll take our quick break. We'll come back and get ready for some Made of Skur.